So hi everybody, my name is Christian Limoges. I'm a naturopathic doctor. I've been practicing for like more than 30 years. So I'm in the beautiful city of Sarasota. We're enjoying it. This is one of my favorite places. It's called Siesta Key Beach, one of the best beaches in the world. Beautiful place. So today I decided to talk about sciatica. Okay, so the reason why I choose sciatica is because I was on the beach. I was walking this morning, and I was looking at the people walking on the beach, and I was seeing so many people having a hard time walking. It was easy for me to see that they were having back problems, lower back problems, sciatica probably, they were in pain and everything. It's easy to see, because of the way they walk, the way their posture and everything. So the first thing to understand is that the human species have been designed to be alkaline. Okay, so that's the first thing that everybody needs to understand. All of your body fluids are alkaline, your body organs, everything. Your body is made up of cells. We have about 80 or 90 trillion cells, maybe 100 trillion cells inside of the body, and whether the cells are coming from the organs or glands or muscles or whatever, it's always the same thing. Cells are bathing into fluids. Okay, so we have the blood and the lymph. We call the blood the kitchen because the purpose of the blood is to feed your cells. So you have the heart and the lungs pumping the blood all the time, 24 hours a day, all your life. It never stops. And the reason why you have a pump, it's because all of your cells, they need to be fed constantly with nutrients and oxygen. And when the cells are fed, cells are like beings, little beings living inside of you. And everything inside of you is living, by the way, cells are living. And the cells are fed by the blood, they're doing their task. And when cells are doing their task, they're producing cellular waste. And cellular waste is very acidic. So you see, in this world, the microscopic world and the macroscopic world is the same. So you as a human being, you eat and you drink, you pee and you poop. So inside of you, and what I'm saying is true, inside of you, you have trillions and trillions of cells peeing and pooing inside of you all the time, because once the cells are fed and they're doing their task, they're producing waste. And then they have their waste inside of them. And then they need to get rid of their waste. But they cannot get rid of their waste in the blood because these wastes are very, very acidic. So if the blood would become acidic, we would get sick. So then we have another fluid inside of the body, and it's called the lymph. And the lymphatic system is like the blood. It contains about the same vitamins and minerals than the blood. But the difference in between the two is that the blood has red blood cells, so it's red. And the lymph has none, so it's clear like water. The blood is pumped by the heart and the lungs, like I said, but the lymph has no pump. The pump is you when you exercise. So your body has been designed with lymph nodes that are very, very strategically placed in the body, in your joints, along your spine, in your groin. And when you move and you exercise, you're pumping the nodes. And when you're pumping the nodes, the lymphatic system is working and moving. So right now I'm not moving much, so my blood is moving, but not my lymph. And the ratio is if you have for example 1 pint of blood in the body, you have 4.4 pints of lymph. So the ratio is that you have 4 times more lymph than blood. The blood is the kitchen and the lymph is the sewage. So we have a sewage system inside of our body which is activated by exercise. So that's why we need to exercise. And when the lymph is moving, when you exercise, then the lymph is moving and collecting the waste that your cells, 80, 90 trillion cells, are dumping in the cell, in the lymph. And when the lymph is collecting all of those waste, then the lymph brings the waste to the 4 channels of elimination. So that's another thing that you need to understand. The body has been designed with 4 organs of elimination. You have your skin, your lungs, your kidneys, and your bowels. So basically speaking, your body is eliminating waste to keep the inside clean when you poo, when you pee, when you sweat, and when you breathe out. And I would say that the main channel of elimination, which doesn't mean that the other 3 are not important, but I mean the one that eliminates a lot is the bowel. So the bowel is kind of like the main channel of elimination. And the bowel is very long. You have about 25 feet of the small intestines in your belly, and you have about 5 to 7 feet of the colon. So in between your ribs and your pubis, you have about 30 to 32 feet of like kind of a plumbing system. And inside of this system, you have like very high like heat and high temperature, like high humidity. So you have about 98.6 degree Fahrenheit of heat, and you have 100% of humidity. So this organ is extremely long. It's extremely compacted. It's very hot and very humid. So for this reason, the food that you eat should never stay inside of you for more than 18 hours. So this is called the transit time. So it means that from the time you eat the food in your mouth, goes inside of your stomach, and the time your body is eliminating the meal, it should never be more than 18 hours. And the reason is because the bowels is very hot and very humid. So when the food stays inside of the bowel for more than 18 hours, which means that if you eat 3 meals a day, you should have 3 bowel movements a day, 18 hours after each meal. So when you go once a day, you're late. You're late because you go every 24 hours. It's already too late. The food that you have eaten will stay inside of you for too long, and then it will start fermenting and rotting. Okay, so what you need to understand is that we are not what we eat. We are what we digest. And most of the people are not eating the right food. They're not eating the food that suits their species. So because of that, what happens is that the food stays inside of your bowels. You're not digesting the food well. And then microorganisms are taking over because it's a very hot place, very humid place. And then food starts like being kind of like decomposed and broken down by microorganisms. And this is called fermentation and putrefaction. And fermentation and putrefaction can explain like most of the problems that human beings are going through. So when you have a lot of fermentation and putrefaction in your gut because you're not eating well and you're not digesting well and you're not eliminating well, then this produces gas, which makes you feel like bloated all the time. So this is the typical big belly of human beings today. And the second thing is that food rots inside of you, and then it produces powerful poisons and toxins. So then you have like toxic gas and toxic like toxins. In the case of sciatica, what happens is that the bowel is expanding because of the gas and the toxins and the fact that you're not eliminating well. And because inside of the body there's no empty space. Otherwise when you jump or when you run, you would feel your organs moving, but this is not the case. So all of the organs are like touching each other, but it in a very harmonious way. It doesn't compress or like it doesn't cause pressure on other organs. But when the bowels are becoming bigger than normal because of the way we eat and the way we're eliminating, then it's compressing the inside and it's causing like a pressure on the wall. The wall is expanding of the bowel, and then it puts a pressure on the surrounding organs, including the sciatic nerve. And when you move, then the bowels inside, it's so tight that it's creating a friction. And then it's creating inflammation of the sciatic nerve. And at the same time, as the bowels are expanding, all of the acids and the toxins that you have in the bowel are like going through the bowel wall, and then they're irritating the nerve, which is causing the nerve to become inflamed. So don't forget that whatever problem that you have, when you have inflammation inside of your body, it's always caused by acid. So we live in a world of cause and effect. The effect is the sciatica, the inflammation. The cause is the acid. And the acid comes from what you eat and what you don't digest and what you're not eliminating. So what we need to do is like to get rid of this acid. So lately I had a person like that came in like to visit me, and she knew a person that had like this sciatica thing, like the guy he couldn't work, for like about 8 months. He was seeing like osteopaths, chiropractors, physio, like mechanical therapists. And these guys are doing an amazing job because they were probably like trying like to free, the nerve, to kind of like create space in between vertebrae and everything, because very often it's a vertebrae pinching the nerve. But the reason why the vertebrae is pinching the nerve is because there's too much inflammation and there's too much compaction, and too much pressure. So then they're doing a good job, but they're still not addressing the cause. The cause is the body being too acidic. So I told this person to tell this other person to change the diet, clean the bowels, and go for colonic irrigation, or just simply give himself like enemas just to remove that pressure. And within 4 days, like, the pain was completely gone. And I've seen this like hundreds, if it's not thousands of times in my 30 years of practice. So like I said, like, very often problems are caused because the body is intoxicated and the body becomes extremely acidic, which causes the body to become inflamed. So I'm encouraging you, like, to change your diet, to clean your bowels, take the right herbs to clean your bowels. And as your body is getting like cleaner, more alkaline, when you alkalize the body by eating fruits and vegetables, and mostly raw, and cleaning toxins out, you energize the body. And the body has been designed with this mechanism. It's a built-in mechanism that you have since birth. And this mechanism is like life. It can heal. The body has the ability to heal by itself, to repair by itself, to regenerate by itself, but only if the inside is clean, alkaline, and well fed. And just by doing this, you see the body just like doing the work. So, like, I'm encouraging you to change your diet, to make your body alkaline, and to just like look at your body, like how wonderful the body has been designed to be able like to heal, repair, and regenerate by itself. So I'm wishing you like amazing health. I'm wishing you like great vitality, and have a great day. Thank you.